this is an issue that usually focuses just on intrapartum care, but the real issues begin in antenatal, then go into the intrapartum care and go into the postpartum phase. So if you start with the antenatal, there are huge numbers of public health issues. If you look at outcomes, the most adverse outcomes affect the most socially disadvantaged people in our community. So if you're going to focus resources, you should focus them at the most disadvantaged, whatever parameter you look at in outcome. There is a political component at the beginning, and you have to make an assessment that maternity services really matter. And that's a political issue for us to influence how politicians think. But I think in terms of getting maternity services high enough on the agenda, that's been quite a challenge. So in terms of antenatal, the kind of public health components that I've just mentioned, that is a very important political thing. Education in schools, that can impact on the outcome. When you come into the components of intrapartum care, which is what we're focusing on particularly today, and safety, then the real issues, I think, are twofold. They are the skill mix of the people providing the care, and secondly, they are related to the educational attainment of those people. And if I can just break that down a wee bit, by the skill mix, I mean having very competent midwives who can identify problems, having senior obstetric people present who can resolve complications if and when they arise. And when I talk about education, we have a recurring theme, particularly of monitoring babies in labour. The detection of a baby that is seriously at risk is still today, although these methodologies have been available for many, many years, is still not being performed adequately. And if you look at the outcome with the NHS Litigation Authority, the themes that will come out of their work in terms of bad outcomes will be a poor skill mix. In other words, you haven't got senior enough people who can identify the problem and cope with it. And secondly, very bad interpretation of cardiotocography, which is basically monitoring how robust a baby is in labour. Measurement is a vital issue. You have to have feedback on the quality of the service that you're providing, and currently our systems are quite good, but they tend to be, there's a lag, too great a lag. But everything doesn't finish when a lady's delivered, and I think sometimes our whole thinking is too skewed towards the intrapartum, and we forget that a lot of problems, and if you look at the quality of, perceived quality of care from a mother's point of view, the postpartum area is very poor. And that is an area now that we know the incidence of serious psychological, psychiatric disturbance in the time following birth is very, very significant. And areas like that need a huge amount of work, investment, redefining who's going to be responsible for those people, because that can be a period of very great risk to a mother who has serious psychiatric illness following delivery can be a great danger for herself and her baby.